Alright, good morning everybody. I'm going to do a little quick review on this St. Croix Legend glass rod. This is the spinning outfit version, okay? This is the one you've seen me a couple times use to throw those little shad wraps, little bitty crankbaits and stuff. My personal opinion about this rod is just as quality, just as good, just a great crankbait, small treble hook rod, just like my other bait casting versions. This is a 610. This one here is a medium power. It has a little more backbone in the tip than my casting ones do, but that action is needed when you're throwing those shad wraps and you're kind of pulling them along and reeling to them. You hear me talk about that a lot. The weight of it, it's the exact same weight that my crankbait rods are that I use, because that's what it is. Basically, my personal opinion, this is the same blank. It seems like it's the same blank. Like I said, the tip's a little bit stiffer, but you need that for working those baits that way. Could you use it for a jerkbait? I tried a half-ounce jerkbait on it, and it doesn't cast it very well. My guess is because of the medium. I did try it with some smaller jerkbaits, and it worked fine. A lot of times my shad wraps, I would use them as a jerkbait, and it worked pretty good. Can't say enough good things about this rod. The only problem for me personally, it became very different feeling on my old shoulders, how this rod felt based on the reel that you put on it. If you put a regular Sedona, Shimano Sedona on it, it tends to be a little heavy. When you go to cast, at least around my area where I go a lot, you see a lot of the videos and stuff that I make. If I was to fish Cumberland all the time, this rod would be awesome. Because it's an open area, there's not a lot of trees to cast around. You're pretty much straight casting, especially those little shad wraps where they kind of flip in the wind. I quickly realized after a couple months of using it, that using it around the smaller lakes, if I was in a part of an open part of the lake, it was okay, but if I was in a closed, underneath trees and stuff like I do with a lot of my other spinning rods, very hard to do, just because this tip, in my opinion, where it's made out of that fiberglass material, it's a little bit harder to cast and to roll cast because you're dealing with those lighter baits. So it really needs to be an open area type of setup. I did try to throw like little square bills and other little deep diving crankbaits on it just to see if maybe, it was just a little better as far as in the winter time. That way I'd have gloves on, not have to fool with my bait caster. I didn't care for it very much, and it has a lot to do with me, because when I was reeling, I don't really like reeling on this side. This shoulder seems to be a lot more sensitive when it comes to weight and different things than my other one does, and it's probably because I'm right-handed. So it became awkward to me in order to do that, I guess is what I'm saying. I quickly realized also that this rod is very technique specific. Yes, you can throw other crankbaits, yes, you can do other things, but that's pretty much what you can use it for, is that type of thing. It needs to be some form of crankbait. And I have two of these in a casting version, 610, that I use for my square bills, and I use for my deep diving crankbaits, so I don't really need that. Also, it became a challenge to find a spinning reel that was in the slow enough gear ratio that I was getting the same action that I felt like I was getting out of my casting setup. So I guess to sum up this rod, like I said, if you're in an open lake to where you deal a lot with shad wraps, and that's one of your favorite things to do, then yes, this rod is awesome. It's a perfect setup. If you want to throw little small crankbaits and you're more comfortable with a spinning rod than you are a bait caster, then this rod's probably for you. If you're like me and you tend to fish different lakes, and sometimes you're around it, sometimes you're not, then I realized that my little number 5 shad wraps, I can throw them on my medium light setups that you see me tight line and Ned rig and everything else with, those little Mojo Bass finesse rods. I used them several times, enjoyed using them. You could step up and use a medium action rod and use it for other applications plus that, which you see me do that a lot. A lot of times you'll see me do several different techniques on one setup. But anyway, for me personally, I'm going to wind up selling this, and I'm probably going to get me either another jerkbait rod, or I may look into another crankbait rod because I throw them a lot. Either way, I wanted to get this review out though before I did turn it in to try to sell it, because I wanted to give everybody an honest review. I know some guys that watch the channel, they appreciate a lot what I do share, because they don't pay me. I don't do this for them. I do this to be honest and just tell people, look, this is what I've used it for. I've got a little, I don't fish all the time, but I've got a little more experience on the water than a lot of people. So I figured I owe everybody just a thank you that everybody watches the videos and everybody shares them. That's my honest opinion and my honest review about this rod. Like I said, very good quality. I have no problem with the quality at all. It's just, to me, it's the setup that I had on it was, I had a Vanford 2500, which made this setup awesome. But what I caught myself doing, that unless I went to a place like Cumberland, or unless I was out in the middle of the lake trying to throw a shad rep on a specific spot, then that's about the only time. And that's a lot of money to tie up, in my opinion, into one outfit that you're using just every now and then. So anyway, hope this helps you all. Hope this just gives you just a little bit of insight about the rod. Thank you very much to everybody who shares the videos. Thank you very much for just a blessing that all of y'all are to me. All the comments and all the encouragement that everybody gives me, I really appreciate it. All of you that pray, just keep praying for me, because it is challenging a lot of times to try to help as many people, but that's what the Lord's called me and asked me to do, so that's what I've been doing. So anyway, hope this helps you all. God bless you all. Don't forget, Jesus loves you. Y'all have a wonderful day.